So I'm going to take a break from the exegetical study of the end times and just do something that's kind of fun. Well, not fun. It's a passion of mine. And I've got a friend, Asa Santiago, who's done some amazing work in polarity and the endocrine system and hormones that alter behavior. It's kind of like he's discovered the new modern pharmakia or sorcery that the Bible calls, and he's shedding light on that and transforming people's lives. And he writes, the elite, they, them, the banking cartel, etc., that truthers like me tend to reference haven't always had control. Maybe we can say that the control happened all the way back to Jesus, maybe well beyond, and the bloodline runs thick for miles. Maybe there have been many attempts to thwart them in the past that failed. Maybe they reward a lot of our history. I agree with a lot of that. It's very possible. I wanted to also shed light that a lot of people don't believe, like, there can't be like this whole group of people that are conspiracy theorists. But all you have to do, or I'm sorry, there can't be this whole group of people that are in a conspiracy, but all you have to do is ask yourself, is there a devil? And when you know that there's a devil, then you look through the scriptures and you pull out all the references to the devil, everything that he says, excuse me, everything that he does, and you realize that the devil promises things to people that they already have. When he tempts Jesus, he says, "I'll give you all the kingdoms of the earth." Jesus is already knows that he's going to be the king of the entire earth. Adam and Eve were tempted with the ability to know that you are going to be like gods. And in Psalms, it says, "Don't you know that you are gods?" And I think it's in Psalms. And so the devil tempted them by telling them what there was going to happen if they did this sin, so to speak. So the devil may have found someone that was destined to be a king and very wealthy, the wealthiest man on the planet, and that would last for generations. And he may have gone up to this man and said, "Hey, if you sacrifice a child, then I will make you wealthy." And so the man does it, and voila, he's wealthy. And so now the man thinks that the devil has the power to give him this power. And so he now is doing what the devil says. And this is how the devil can get a foothold into a family, and then generation to generation, that's passed down. Now, if for some random reason you're one of those family members, I will tell you that the name of Jesus is more powerful than anything the devil could ever do. And you just cry out to Jesus, repent, and he will save you, no matter what it is you have partaken in. So, this idea of a Illuminati or a conspiracy, or they them as Asa calls it, is not far fetched once you realize there's a devil, that he gets leverage on people who get leverage on people who get leverage on people. And a third dimension to this is that each level believes something very different about what they're doing, and no level knows what the level above them is. So for the next layer down, it might be, well, you're the chosen people of the earth, and maybe they are, and but everybody else therefore is less than human, and you must dominate them and kill them. Oh, okay, well, let's do that. I will teach you how. I will teach you how to enslave them with money. Okay, let's do that. And then down from there is, well, we're just a bunch of greedy, powerful people. We just want sex, drugs, and rock and roll and money. That's all we want. So, okay, well, we can easily give you that. So you're doing this because you're going to control the world. Well, the first group might be told, you're actually bringing in utopia, and we unfortunately have to kill a lot of people in order to do that. So they think they're doing good, and each group is told some different thing. The group below, the politicians and corporate heads, might think that they're doing something even noble, but different than all the levels above them. So there's this built-in need to know level, and once you put all those elements together, excuse me, built-in need to know basis for each level. And then once you put all those things together, you realize it's not far-fetched at all. If I was the devil, I would do it, right? You're thinking, how can I do the most evil? Well, I want to leverage people for the long term and get their families and their families. And I don't want anybody to know what's going on. I want everybody to think they're doing the right thing. And I want lots of people to get killed. So that's the way the devil works. So when you look at it that way, you're like, of course it happens. Let's say maybe let's read on. Maybe we can say that the control happened all the way back to Jesus. Oh, we already read that. A lot of this can be seen as likely reality if you understand system science, which I believe I just spoke to you about, while having a fairly broad mind. Believing this will mostly come from neurotypical ADHD or AUDHD people, unless the ASD people accept foundational conspiracy theories to be true. And in order to do that, you'd have to pull your head out of the sand and you would have to say, what's the possibility of it happening? It's like it's pretty high once you realize there is a devil, what he can do, what his MO is. Then you're like, well, it fits perfectly. It must be. No, it's all shrouded. There's no proof, right? There's no proof. But there's no proof that um, stars are billions of light years away. There's no proof because we don't have a tape measure. So what we do is we measure light. We assume that time is the same all the way there, and we do all these things. And there's no proof. There's actually no proof that even science exists. It's all built on assumptions that so far haven't broken down. So um, if the glove fits, wear it. If the shoe fits, wear it. Okay. The one moment in history I do know of that very likely put a chink in the chain of control was George Washington's unlikely climb to power adjacent to the British Army as Virginia militia before he united the Virginians to secede from Great Britain. So I also want to say, this is fascinating. I also want to say that Shakespeare was also one of these unlikely people. So before Shakespeare was medieval times, after Shakespeare was modern times. Now we think of today as modern, but historically it's medieval, modern. In the 1940s came postmodernism, and then most recently is metamodernism. So medieval times means how you were born is how you were. If your dad was a tanner, you were a tanner. If he was a librarian, you were a librarian. After that was you can kind of be anything you want to. That's modern times. And then postmodernism is let's destroy modernism. Metamodernism is kind of like let's go back and pick the best of everything and just mix it all together and see what we get. But we don't know how to pick the best of anything because that requires wisdom that we don't have. So Shakespeare was supposed to be a glove maker because his dad was a glove maker. Instead, and we're talking about unlikely. Let's put unlikely there. Instead, Shakespeare disappears for 7 years, then reemerges in London as a playwright and becomes very successful. And not only that, but he normalizes the English language. He creates some 3,000 words and gives people a framework to express things inside them that they formerly did not have, like the word lovely. There's people are like, oh, lovely, I get that. Now I can express it. He's lovely, she's lovely, that's lovely, it's lovely. It's lovely outside. This is a lovely, flower. And so Shakespeare gave them that word and they were able to open up their expression. Simultaneous to this, King James, the King of Scotland, unlikely became the King of England at the same time. And when he did that, he was a Protestant. English was being run by Catholicism, England. And so when he became the king, he brought Protestantism over, which meant that now they could print Bibles. And so the printing press came along at that same time. Unlikely. Yes, too to be a coincidence is what I would say. And so they printed the King James Bible with Shakespeare's new English, with his normalized English. And he may have been a part of working with them too. I don't know, but definitely he influenced and brought about the technology or the English language in order to be able to create a King James Bible. And also the printing press came along at the same time. And also the guy to put it all together, King James himself. So we had all those things. As soon as the Bible is printed, the pilgrims start making plans. And now they have a Bible in their hand so they can sail to the New World. If they sailed to the New World without a Bible, they'd be lost, and they knew it. That's what was keeping them there for the most part. And so as soon as they got the Bible, they got on those ships, went over there, and we started America. So a very unlikely combination of three or four events in history had to happen in order for America to come to power. And then another bottleneck of unlikely things to come together was George Washington. So it says many back then saw his experience as a miracle, especially as he was sure to die on the battlefield, but survived with merely bullet holes in his clothing and everything else around him, as if something was protecting him. Perhaps it was God, this hive mind of unconscious of humanity, an alien. Who knows? I know it was God. But I will say that it was his unique set of circumstances that led to the country of the United States of America. That is true. And if he had not succeeded, we would still be in a classist society. That is also true. So we would be in medieval times where there was these classes. But now we were in the modern times where theoretically you could be anything you wanted. So now that we're in the meta modern times, we have to go back and say, why are we still using techniques to study the Bible that were invented during Shakespeare's time? You know, we're still operating on 400 years of turning pages to read the Bible. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you're not going to get anything out of it if you think you can fit the entirety of the Bible in there and cross reference everything and pull out all these amazing coincidences. So, or connections, I should say. So, technology is given to us by God in order to be able to read through the Bible. So, I imagine from that point, there was some long term planning that took place to eventually exert control over the new free people of the US. Yes, the devil, his plans were thwarted, and now he had to get them back. Uh, and then down here, this is great. You can read through it if you want to pause the video and just read through it. And the people who have control of the AI need to be scrutinized. So AI is awesome, and in the wrong hands, it can be an awesome weapon for destruction. But in the right hands, privately owned AI will be able to tell us way more about the Bible than we know right now.